guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about my Declasse Vigero ZX build. Let's jump right into it. For the armor I went with 100%. For brakes I went with the race brakes. For the bumpers, for the front bumper I went with secondary bumper. For the rear bumper, I also went with secondary. For the engine, I got the EMS upgrade level 4. For the exhaust, I went with the double performance exhaust. For the grille, I went with secondary GT grille. For the hood, I went with the vanity hood. For the lights, for the headlights, I went with the xenon headlights. For the neon kit, for the layout, I went with front, back, and sides. For the neon color, I went with lime green. For the livery, I went with none. For the mirrors, I went with secondary GT mirrors. For the plate, I went with the blue on white 2 plate. For the rear diffuser, I went with trimmed competition diffuser. For the respray, for the primary color, I went with classic black. For secondary color, I went with classic lime green. For the trim color, I also went with lime green. For the skirts, I went with secondary skirts. For the splitters, I went with the trimmed arc race splitter. For the spoiler, I went with secondary aftermarket spoiler. For the sun strips, I went with the secondary sun strip. For the suspension, I went with competition suspension. Transmission, I went with the race transmission. For the turbo, I went with the turbo tuning. For the wheels, I went with muscle chrome cracker. For the tires, I went with custom tires on the design. Tire enhancements, I went with bulletproof tires. For the tire smoke, I went with green tire smoke. For the windows, I went with limo. And that's it. Hope y'all like it.